Specifically, what Colin is engaged in is nonviolent direct action protests.
Right.
And if you want to look at an example of one of the most successful non-violent direct action leaders, that would be Martin Luther King Jr.
Sure.
But there needs to be a 1-to-1 ratio for the protests against those who are denying the justice that you seek. So in the 60s, if you couldn't eat lunch at the lunch counter, you sat in at the lunch counter.
Right.
If you couldn't ride in the front of the bus, you boycotted the buses.
Mm-hmm.
If you couldn't vote, you protested and marched for the right to vote. There was a 1-to-1 ratio. Here in Memphis, Tennessee, if the sanitation workers couldn't get fair pay and equal work conditions, we're going to go on strike.
Very laser focused.
With that, what did we see? Mm-hmm. We saw the end of segregation. We saw the Civil Rights Act. We saw the Voting Rights Act. We saw the end of the Vietnam War. There was a lot accomplished for all that was done, for all the sacrifice. Mm-hmm. Contrast that with what Colin's done. Mm-hmm. Well, we know he got a big deal with Nike.
Yes.
We know they settled. We know he got a commercial. We know that everybody said he should be back in the league. Everyone said that he should be playing. We haven't heard anything about violence against people of color in our community.
Right.
Nor can we point to some discernible metric for how we've advanced that cause. And you can even contrast that if you look at the Parkland shooting. Those kids who had their school shot up have already had a march where they sat there with lawmakers and they debated Marco Rubio in his face about changing the laws about guns and about guns in schools. Mm-hmm. They've gotten more progress for that issue and for what they've experienced, and these are high school kids that didn't have a platform that Colin Kaepernick had.
So the Culture Soup podcast is a production of No Silos Communication.